Welcome to the evening routine video. Today I just want to discuss a few things to consider in that sort of wind down from like 6 p.m. onwards. Like, what is your evening looking like? What have you got in place that's going to set you up for success the following day? That's really what we're doing from 6 p.m. onwards. It should be thinking, what's the plan here? When am I winding down? When am I calming down? What's tomorrow going to look like? This is a game changer. If we do this, it organises you for the day ahead, which organises you for the week ahead, which ultimately means you're going to get to where you want to be but maintain long term, and that's why we're here. So with the evening routine, it can be a little bit tricky to understand depending on shift work and what you do in terms of evening routines with like training or kid stuff or whatever it might be you've got on your plate, but you have to try and start to calm yourself down in the evening. Get out of this amped up fight or flight mode that will spend a lot of the day in, from work stresses to relationship stuff to training to whatever it might be. You want to try and get the evening to be a nice, calm, relaxing time, okay? If you train in the evening, okay, fine, but we have to be calming down in the evening and try and keep that training window as far away from bedtime as we possibly can. If you can train at 5 p.m, don't train at 7 p.m, train at 5, get it done, and by 6 p.m. we can start doing the wind down. If we have to train at 8, 9 p.m, I get that sometimes we do, but we just have to try and wind ourselves down as quickly as we can without that. Get your meal down you as quick as you can post-training, do some breath work, do some reading just to calm down the central nervous system before bed. But ideally, let's for argument's sake say we've got a few hours to kind of calm ourselves down and get in a good position before bed. One thing to consider with an evening routine is limit caffeine. Just get off it. I know some of you guys are like, oh, I can drink a can of Monster and go to my bed. That's amazing, but trust me right now, you are wrecking your sleep quality. This has been proven in countless studies. Caffeine, even within 7 hours, even with the most rampant caffeine drinker and you're smashing 6 cups a day, doesn't affect you too much. It's still having an effect and it's going to upset your sleep quality. So 7 hours before bed, ideally come off caffeine. If you train in the evenings, I know that can be a bit of a problem because you want some sort of energy lift before you hit the session. I get that. If you're just sitting watching TV, drinking coffee, move to decaf. You don't need the caffeine. If you like the taste of coffee, cool. Get decaffeinated though. Now, if we are needing a little bit of an energy boost, you might want to check out a functional mushroom called Chaga. C-H-A-G-A, Chaga. It gives you a natural lift without the side effects of caffeine, no jitters, and you can actually fall asleep, within a few hours of taking it. Check it out. So functional mushroom called Chaga. Could be a shout, could be something to look at, just to kind of give you that lift if you need it. Now, let's say we've got a few hours to kill before bed. First things first, dinner time. We should be nice and organised. We should hopefully be planned in advance with the battle plan mapped out. We've done maybe a bit of meal prep, or we've planned out the meals for the week. We know what we're having. So after dinner, great way to wind down and help digestion and calm down the central nervous system is go for a walk. Get the family involved. Let's all go for a walk for 10-15 minutes. Take the ones out on the bike if it's like nicer evenings. Get out and just go for a walk 10-15 minutes. It just calms down the central nervous system, allows your food to digest and really sets your body up for a really nice kind of wind down in the evening. Now obviously I've talked about the 3-2-1 rule in this kind of sleep video, so we're going to be implementing that for sure as best we can. So if you haven't seen that, go back to last week's video and watch that as I cover it in detail. But other things you have to think about within that window. So you've got 3 hours before bed, no food, no food, then 2 hours before bed was no emails, no work stuff, and then an hour before bed, no phones, no blue light, right? So we've got that sort of 3 hour window before bed. Within that window, let's make sure we're organised. Okay, we've got our meals prepped. Within that last few hours before bed, we know what we're doing for the following day. So we wake up in the morning, which I talked about in the morning routine, and we know what we're doing for today. We know what meals we're having, they're in the fridge, they're ready to go. My breakfast is ready. I've made overnight oats, I made a shake ready to go in the morning. Whatever it is, breakfast is ready to go. So we're just setting ourselves up for the following day. Then within that sort of window, I talked about that like 1 hour rule before bed, no electronics. A good thing to do within that hour is get a pad and paper and write down a brain dump of all the crap that's going on in your head, and write down the 3 main things that you have to get done tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, just list them out. The big movers, the big things that are going to change your life. It could be a work thing, could be a family thing, could be a kid, whatever's biggest 3, just write them on that list. Any other thoughts, just scribble on that bit of paper for 5 minutes. It's just a brain dump. So what it does, it pulls all the thoughts out of your head, gets them in a bit of paper, and really helps the brain calm down before you actually go to sleep. The other thing you might want to consider is journaling. This is a massive game changer. I talked about in the morning routine, practicing gratitude in the morning. So waking up and having 3 things. What are you grateful for? What are the things in life that you really are genuinely grateful for? Shift that mindset in the morning. In the evening, have a reflection of the day. Like, what's gone well today? You're going to write the 3 things that went well today, the 3 things that could have gone better, and the 3 things we're going to execute tomorrow. Write them down on a bit of paper. You can buy a thing called the 5-minute journal. It's worth looking into as it just does this for you, and you can keep a log of it. But it's just a great idea. It just helps you pull the thoughts out of your head, builds on that gratitude, helps you reflect on things that you might want to be working on and things that you're going to go and smash the next day. These things can make a huge difference. And then that last hour before bed, I've talked about this last week in the sleep video, but certainly doing a little bit of meditation, a little bit of yoga. You start to build out this evening bedtime routine, you will go to bed completely calm, completely relaxed. Your sleep quality will go through the roof. You'll wake up in the morning, follow the morning routine through, and you're going to crush life. You really, really are. And it's not a huge ask. We're talking like, some of these tasks are taking you 2-3 minutes at a time. It's just doing a bit of organisation, and then go and sit and chill and relax before bed, right? So let's get after it. Evening routine. Let's get that built in this week, and let's see if we can execute.